That makes me feel much better.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Backfire Simsport TV. I'm Clyde Whiting, and tonight we bring you round 2, season 8 of the BSTV GT4 TCR Challenge, live from that track that I can't say the name of, so I just call it the Nurburgring 24-hour layout. In the booth with me tonight, not put off from his debut last week, it is the one and only Sir Alan Toon. Good evening.
Good evening, Clyde, and hello, and good evening to everybody out there in listening land.
And on the wheels of steel, doing some of the magic in the background, but we say Sam is everybody's favourite angry Belgian. I can tell you he's very angry tonight because SDK have done their usual and done a lovely update to fix things and broke other things. So we may be struggling a little bit tonight bringing you information, but Sam is busy in the background working on a workaround. So good evening, Sam.
Good evening, everybody. And I'm not the man of magic today. It's probably one of the SDK's developers.
Okay, so this is by far, and this could be controversial, the worst ever track. I absolutely hate this place. I get lost. I don't get it. I don't understand why people like it. But some drivers love it. We're looking at one at the moment on the screen. He's not going to love it so much now. Mr. Toon, what do you think of this track?
Oh, I'm a lover. I adore this place, Clyde. I absolutely adore it. And I've done for a very long time. I spent hours going around here with my PlayStation and Gran Turismo and my little controller, like many others, going around here racing my kids when they were little. Yeah, I love it.
Right. Okay, well, I say I get lost. For me, the track is too big to learn, and just when I think I'm getting a section, I come up to what I know is a nice fast sweeping left, and it's a right, and I'm in totally the wrong place on the wrong part of the track. So that's probably why I dislike it a bit. I don't think it's probably a good track for lapping on, but for racing, not 100% sure. But saying all that, we have a race tonight. Slightly different format tonight. So because of the length of the lap, there isn't an official practice session. So the drivers have gone straight into an hour-long qualifying session. Top 5 at the moment in GT4 is Stefan Goebel. Second place is Simon Trendle. Third place is Wobbly Kneecaps. Fourth place is Jamie Wilson. And fifth place is Rob Venn. Into TCR, currently first is Stephen Walker. Second is Shane Powell. Third is Spencer McCarthy. Fourth is Russell Cowell. And fifth is Gary Craig. Quick recap on what happened last time out. So Wobbly Kneecaps took away the win in GT4 with Simon Trendle second and Chris Needham in third. Sam Blease took away the win in TCR with Spencer McCarthy second and Stephen Walker in third. So after one round, obviously Wobbly Kneecaps leads the way in GT4, Simon Trendle second, Stefan Goebel in third. In TCR, Sam Blease leads the way with Spencer McCarthy in second and Russell Cowell in third. Team standings, Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing Black lead the way. RWC Racing Red in second and Team Chimera in third. Simon Trendle took away the majority of the votes in driver of the meeting. He leads away on 3. Sam Blease has 2. And then we have Wobbly Kneecaps, Carl Hardy and Stephen Walker on 1 vote. And in the head-to-head challenge, currently Tcr Group 1 is Spencer McCarthy and Gary Craig leading the way. Group 2 is Carl Hardon and Matt Elmore leading the way. Group 3, Russell Cowell and Stephen Walker. And Group 4, Sam Blease and Shane Powell. Group 1 of GT4 is Stefan Goebel and Rob Venn. And Group 2 is Wobbly Kneecaps and Simon Trendle. So, evening to Marco Lewert on the chat. He did offer to come into the booth and let us know all the corner names, but we're not interested. So, Alan, what do you think? What are we going to get tonight with this? Are we going to see the usual close fought racing that we get, or is the length of the track going to split things up a bit?
Oh, good question. Well, I would expect there to be plenty of close racing. I've never noticed anybody having trouble overtaking me on this track, to be honest. So I don't think any of these drivers were having any trouble overtaking each other either. And there's a draft potential here as well a little bit. And I think, to be honest, it's if you know the track well, I think you've definitely got an advantage. It is a long track, and I think if you've got if you've done some laps here and you're confident about the corners, you can maybe local knowledge is an advantage.
Yeah, well, we do know from past seasons that Stefan Goebel, a resident German, does do well on the German tracks, and he says we have some hot breaking news. Allegedly, Pete Bingham has managed a full lap, believe it or not. I don't know about you, Alan, but I think if I was Pete, I would now park it in the pits and quit and, say, well, I did a lap, that was enough.
Oh, well done to Pete. Chuffed for him.
We've also got a bit of a special paint going on tonight. I know Sam has already shown it on the screen, so I don't know if you could get Mark Draper up for us, Sam. But Mark was without paint, so I offered to do one for him. Now, people have seen me paint before, including Pete and Gary. And that car there did go through a Tampax livery, a Durex livery, a Femfresh livery. And then I had my eldest grandson on the phone, who is 3 at the weekend, and he was singing Baby Shark to me. So it ended up as a Baby Shark paint. So I hope that Mark wins, because that paint is just bloody awesome. What do you think, Alan?
I had advance notice because Mark was telling me about how proud he was of this awesome paint, and of course we're trying to persuade him back into a result livery for his lovely points.
Yeah, he's not going to drop that paint in a hurry, mate, I don't think.
Well, we'll see, but it looks great, and I like your paint jobs, to be honest. They've got they put a smile on my face, Clyde.
Yeah, there's always a little bit of humour in them. I can remember doing a paint many moons ago for somebody, and underneath the back wing, I just put Dick. And obviously, as a driver, you never see under your rear wing. So everybody that came up behind him to overtake him had a giggle, and he had no idea what they was giggling about. So that was good. Anyway, let's get back to this race, shall we? So usual format, people, for the race. there's a little bit of debate going on in the Discord channel, Alan, on whether to go flat out and 2-stop it, or fuel save and 1-stop it. So that could throw some interesting tactics, especially on the last lap. If we get people running out of fuel, or to dive in and get some fuel to complete the last lap.
I'm not a big fan of fuel saving. I like pedal to the metal.
Yeah, I love anything that adds a bit of strategy to the race, just so that not every driver is doing exactly the same thing. One thing that I do know, so Stefan Goebel has now dropped down to second at the moment in qualifying, but he may not thank me for saying this, but he is a bit of an expert on the German tracks. He's not a fuel saver. I expect, if nobody else does it, Stefan will go balls to the wall and 2-stop it.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I would hope so.
So what else do we? I'm seeing lots of people with silly little spins tonight, Alan. Is it going to be drive to survive?
I'm surprised actually that we're seeing so many spinners. Maybe the conditions are warm, and so that's caused a problem with the tyres. But I'm surprised really. I would have thought with a decent setup, it's quite a calm place. I can get around it.
Yeah, well, it's, to be honest, it's not particularly warm. I've just had a look. Track temperature is 68 Fahrenheit. So it's a fairly cool track at the moment. We're just coming up to 9 o'clock in the morning sim time. So, oh dear, we're on board with Pete. This will probably not end too well. Although, to be honest, it is one of those tracks where if you've got a car in front of you, it does make it a little bit easier. Because you've got a little bit of advanced knowledge on whether they're turning left or right. Although you do still have to hope that they're getting the track right.
The car in front is wobbly.
Yeah, well, there's probably a bit of rope on there that you can't see, and Wobbly's towing him rounds. BSTV have also updated their paints. Thanks to Tyler for that. There's a nice shot there of the Aston and the Honda. Obviously, that is Princess Pete there. So we've got just over 5 minutes left of this qualifying session. Simon Trendle leads the way now in Gt4. Stefan Goebel in second, with Wobbly Kneecaps in third. Sam Blees leads the way in TCR, with Stephen Walker in second and Spencer McCarthy in third. Lot of drivers in the pits, so obviously they are not going to get a chance to do any more laps. But yeah, Alan, going back to the tactical side of things, this series, we've done a few tweaks over the season. We think we've got it pretty nailed on now, although there may be a longer race coming later on in the season. We just need to work out the logistics. But that I think that the drivers do enjoy the tactical side of it. Whether it's not everybody enjoys fuel saving, but some do. There's also the trying to broaden the pit window so that some people pit early, some people pit late. There's a lot for a driver to think about in these races, apart from just getting around the track in the quickest possible time.
Oh, for sure. we've had a long history of people running out of fuel and big changes happening during pit stops. People getting undercuts. It's rife with problems. Some people are just really bad at pit stops. And I would never point a finger at my Captain Carl Hardy. It is, naturally the worst pit stopper in the world.
Isn't that because there's usually food involved in it, though? And, nowhere have I ever seen in a race series where it says, you can get 4 tyres, fill the car, and eat a burger all in the same amount of time.
I think he has specially trained pit-side feeders.
He'd probably be better off with some of that liquid astronaut food, I reckon.
Well, whatever that keeps him going, I just want him to get round. He's not a fan of this track. He's in your camp on that. He gets lost, and I don't understand that because I know it like the back of my hand. Every one of these corners is a familiar friend to me. So for people to say they don't know it, to me it's inconceivable and baffling.
Yeah, that's me, mate. I can't. I struggle learning tracks anyway. But this, it just, I don't know. It's not for me as a purist. It's not a racetrack. It is what it is in real life. It's somewhere where you take your car, do some laps, probably crash it, and do thousands of pounds worth of damage. and then get a bill from the racetrack owners that you've damaged the fence.
I take your point. It is not traditional.
No.
But I do take my flask and my picnic table when I go for a lap or two there, because it's a lovely place to stop and have a cup of tea. It's not every track that comes with lay-bys, so you can have a cup of tea. So but yes, I take your point. But people who love to drive it, it's a heck of a challenge and very satisfying to see tenths coming off your lap times.
It's definitely a challenge. Sam, so I hate it. Alan loves it. Where are you?
It's one of the track on top of my bucket list. It's awesome.
No, but I'm on about as a sim racing circuit. If you're in a series and you see this track on the calendar, are you yay, or are you god?
100% yay.
Right. So you've heard it now, folks. I am commentating with 2 proper weirdos.
It's just
numbered.
people that can't race that don't love this track. That's it.
Well,
You're one of them, so you can say no.
But it's just, I don't know. I'll tell you what. Let's leave it at that, and let's hope tonight's race changes my mind about this track.
Yes, that's good. It's a worthy aspiration.
So we'll just have to see what happens. Let's also
These are the drivers that could do it, Clyde, aren't they? Let's face it.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I have been on this track in series, and I just find it. I'm not a particularly skillful racer on iRacing, but if you can keep it clean, you get a good result. So,
Oh, that's interesting. Yes, but I did a 3-hour enduro with Ollie a couple of weeks ago. We did 3 hours for 10x.
Yeah, that's good going, mate. That's good going. Although, did you come out? Did you actually come out of the pits?
we didn't even use our fast repairs. Amazing. I know, amazing, really. Ollie drove the wheels off it, and I just went for the ride. It was a lot of fun.
So we are on board with wobbly kneecaps at the moment. who I believe is on a flying lap. It's currently sat provisional 3rd position in GT4 in his newly liveried Aston Martin, which is my new favourite, most beautiful car in the world.
It looks very good. Oh, beautiful
But
corners.
Yeah, it's another one. It is a precision track, because you know, when you get into the twisty sections, one corner leads to another. So you get the first one wrong, you're out of position for the second one. Because you're out of position for the second one, you're either going to be out of position for the third one, or you've got to slow down to get the third one right. So, you know, I get the skill level required on this track, but yeah, I'm not going to say it. I'm not. No, it's get it out of your head, Clyde. Let's let the race change your mind.
It's just going around an essential corner, because then you're going up this hill for a very long way, and if you don't get that corner right, you're pushing red.
He's in sector 73 at the moment, and he's green and purple sectors. So this could be the pole lap, although he is getting lots of verbal abuse from the other drivers whilst trying to do this lap.
Big right-hander. Coming to that big circular thing.
So I have no idea where he is on the track. I don't know.
This is one of the old bits. That's one of the old track.
I don't know if he's halfway through, near the end, just started. No idea.
What's his time?
That's another purple sector.
It's going well.
So he's gone purple, green, 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 purple, green, purple, green, green, purple.
Okay. He's flying. You have to be so careful through here.
Yeah, and especially in qualifying, one mistake and your lap time's deleted.
It's dangerous. This is a dangerous right-hander. The camber is shocking over the Gt4 into the sand. Another big left-hander, then we're going to start going down now after the crest. Oh, it's lovely.
Probably still getting abuse from the other drivers.
Oh.
Mike on the chat says, tell him to hurry up. We're all bored waiting for him.
Well, we're getting there. This is the last... we're getting towards the end here. This is coming up to another the old bit of the track.
Yeah, I think he's either in the final sector or maybe the penultimate sector.
He's got two right-handers, and then he's onto the main straight. That big, long, straighty thing. It's around here. It's quite tight, these corners. You need to get a really good exit to carry your pace down here. It's a long straight. Starts off downhill, then quite sharp uphill. If you get in the toe here, even I can keep up.
Nah, I'm not having that.
Fantastic, honestly.
So, am I right? Is there a little chicane at the end here somewhere or something? Oh, I don't know.
Go down the hill, yeah. To the left hander, then straight bit, then it starts braking towards the end of this section. And then look, chicane bit. There.
Okay, is this going to be good enough for pole?
Sharp right hander to the line. Oh no, we're going down there. We're going, come on, come on, come on, come on. It's got to get over the line. To go.
Could you imagine he went to the pit? It's not even the full lap. Oh.
No, that got him up to second though.
8:45. Wow.
That was close though.
That was very close.
Look at that. Considering how long the lap is, that's tremendous driving, isn't it? Look at that. These guys are amazing. The way they lap so closely to each other, and the times are considering they've gone nearly 13 miles, is it?
Yeah, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, to be able to be a second off. Do you know what I mean?
It's again, that's why it's not a racetrack. Shut up, Clive. Right, so we are just waiting for the session to click over, and then we can bring you your official starting grid. I'm hoping we're not doing a full pace lap.
Crikey.
Because we could be here till next Wednesday.
Yeah. Even I wouldn't really go for that, to be honest. Much as I love the place.
Okay, so session has clicked over. Let's bring you your starting grid. So GT4's pole position taken by Simon Trendle for Team Chimera. Second place, wobbly kneecaps for BSTV Esports Pink. In third place, Stefan Goebel for VTS Esports. Jamie Wilson qualified in fourth. Rob Venn fifth. Arno Shanonier in sixth. Chris Needham in seventh. Jason Kylie, you spin me right round, baby, right round. Haddington in eighth. And Rick Hedgehog in ninth. Over to TCR, and Sam Blees took away the pole position for Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing Black. Stephen Walker for Spectre 6 in second, and Spencer McCarthy for Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing White in third. Shane Powell is qualified fourth. Fifth is Michael Gray. Sixth, Russell Cowell. Seventh, Gary Craig. Eighth, Pete Bingham. Yes, you heard that right. Eighth, Pete Bingham. Ninth is Mark Draper. 10th is Matt Flannery. 11th is Matt Elmore. Too many Matts already in this series. 12th is Carl Hardy with Ollie Ricks in 13th and Andrew Littler in 14th. So that is your starting grid. Now, luckily, we are not doing a complete pace lap. So pace car leads us away. As usual, you will probably see the TCRs giving the GT4 field a very healthy advantage, because some of the GT4 drivers may bin it at the start of the race, and nobody wants that, and the TCRs certainly don't want to get involved in that. So, where are we on the track, Alan? Are we anywhere near the start-finish?
Yes, this is that little sequence that they just before the start.
Okay.
Should be changing soon.
Obviously, watch for Pete Bingham disappearing off to Hockenheim.
Right on the neutral circuit. There we go.
So Aston Porsche leads us away, and they've gone. Stefan Goebel covering off Jamie Wilson there. Jamie's going to have a look down the inside. Stefan struggles under brakes sometimes with the cold tyres, but he's done well there. Arnaud Chenonnier, a bit pedestrian around that corner, shall we say. Evening to Chris Jackson on the chat. Okay, TCRs are away. Where's Gary Craig going? Yep, well done. You got that woed up in time. Where did Pete go? Or has Gary just had a blinder? I think Gary's just had a blinder. Okay, Matt Flannery, Matt Elmore there in a bit of a battle. And, oh, Chris Needham has gone round on the first lap. Let's hope he hasn't got too much damage there, Alan, because you don't want to be carrying that for a while, do you?
Certainly not. Cold tyres will catch people out there if they're not careful. We're just at the start.
No, we've seen that a couple of times, didn't we, in qualifying?
Yeah. I think that's his tyres, really. Just let him go. You don't get any warning.
So Pete's start wasn't too bad. He's held position where Gary has gone up one place. Carl Hardy's actually gone up a couple of places there, Alan.
Excellent. Yeah, well, it seemed to be a bit out of place on the grid, did you not think? So I'm glad to see him making a couple of early places.
Speaking from personal experience, you can affect your qualifying performance just by convincing yourself that you don't like the track.
Yes. I guess you can. And
he's gone round again. This is last season's champion, and now he's got the TCRs breathing down his neck. TCRs really didn't want to see that, to be honest.
No. And Chris certainly didn't.
Oh, mistake there from Sam Blees.
This is right at the beginning of the Nordschleife section. So we've come off the circuit, the GP circuit, onto the old Nordschleife now. Lovely. Look at that gradient.
Oh, there's somebody round there. Oh, it's Chris again. That's three times.
He's not getting any look at all, is he?
No. I think he's obviously got that. Oh, that's Russell Cowell as well.
Oh, no.
No.
Is that his wheel?
3 wheels on my wagon.
Ah.
Holy schmoly. We need to see what happened there.
I think that'll be a meatball, Clyde.
Imagine throwing a safety car right now.
Oh. So, Chris went round.
Did you get the wheel on the grass?
Oh, Mark.
Oh.
That was Mark's wheel.
Goodness. Oh, blimey.
And it's
crikey.
It's quite funny, isn't it? Because you could be really abusive to the drivers now and say, why are you crashing on lap 1? But lap 1 goes on for about 38 minutes.
Or 8 3/4, but...
So, yes, side button.
Oh, no. Oh, this is painful. Oh.
I'm not going to point any fingers at the moment, but that did look like who was it? Was it Russell Cowell? Looked like he came across. I'd have to see it from overhead. He's got the run.
Is he touched yet? Oh! What happened there?
Looking at it from there, it's a bit more 50-50 to me.
Nobody was giving way, were they?
No.
Crikey.
Okay, well, bit of excitement on lap 1, and that has ended up with, I think Michael Gray has left the session. Yes, he has. Who's Rob Venn in the pits? What's happened to Rob Venn?
Well, a few other things happened. We're gonna get to that, but there's also the battle live, so we need to watch that.
We're not worried about live.
We're gonna spend the whole evening on replay.
So yeah, Spencer McCarthy. I think this all may have led from maybe that little mistake we see Sam Blease make, but Spencer McCarthy has got in front of him and disappeared a little bit as well. So this is Sam Blease, Stephen Walker and Gary Craig. And you can see Spencer McCarthy has got a little bit of a gap. I'm sure once we get a little bit of a break in the action, Sam will take us back so we can see exactly what happened. Like I said, I'd like to see what happened to Rob Venn. So here's Rob, he's all on his lonesome, so it's going to be a spin on his own, I think. Oh, it looked like a whole armful of understeer then.
Yes. I bet Rob was hell of a surprise.
Okay, yeah, so this is the change of lead. Oh, he's still going. Yeah, I did hear Pete apologise to somebody. I'm guessing it was Russell. Pete, as aware as ever, 4 miles behind the car in front.
Nice looking paint on that car.
They're all going to check up round here.
You need to be hard on the brakes around here. Ooh!
And, yeah.
The thing about that corner is you need to be on the brakes before you can see. You need to be braking before you go around the corner. If you're not, you're never going to get slowed down.
So we've also lost Mark Draper from the session.
Oh, that's a shame.
But he said, at least we got to see my paint. So yeah. Silver linings.
Yeah, it's a star. He's fun. We like him very much.
Funny guy.
He was trying to explain to me what Baby Shark was.
Have you not played the song yet?
Well,
I
live pretty much in an ivory tower here.
You need to play the song, mate.
Yes, he advised me to go and try it.
Sam Blease has definitely lost some front end speed because he's just been passed by 3 cars. Gary Craig and Stephen Walker, they were side by side. Gary's going to try and cover him off now. Let's see how wounded Sam is.
Yeah, there's some damage on that DSC.
If Pete gets past him, he might as well just pull in the pits and quit. Oh, he's going to pull in the pits anyway.
Yeah.
However,
He's got
he
no
does
top
get a
end with
fast
that.
repair.
Well, that's good because his top end speed would have been
Who else
previously
was
impaired.
Shane Powell after his little coming together? He's in the pits. Okay, these three look like they're going to be going at it all evening, and at the moment I'm now going to put the mockers on him and give him the old commentator's curse. But I'm impressed with Jamie Wilson. In terms of lap time, he was nowhere near these top three in qualifying, but he's hanging on.
Yes.
Good evening to Charles Kellyman on the chat.
Wonderful Mr. Kellyman.
Another driver that should be out there rather than on the chat. So this is Russell Cowell's bumper cam with Stephen Walker in front of him, Gary Craig in front of Stephen. Spencer McCarthy's got nearly a 4-second lead. Now, here's an interesting question. Sam Blees pits, takes his free repair. Is he now on a straight two-stopper, or does he still need to save fuel?
I think it was too early, wasn't it?
I think they can do 3 laps easy, but that's 4 laps that was a stretch. I think that's what they were telling on the Discord, that 4 laps was a stretch with the TCRs, and they would have to save fuel if the race is 7 or 8 laps anyway. It's probably gonna be 7. If I read everything correctly, and looking at the time, it should be 7.
Yeah.
But they have to do a 4 stint lap, which is the issue right now.
Okay, so Charles says, I'll be back.
Go on, Jamie.
Yeah, they are a touch quicker, but it only takes a side-by-side battle, and he's back in with them. Matt Elmore and Ollie Ricks giving it the full beans at the moment.
We've seen Mr. Hardy.
Yeah, I'm trying not to mention him, because we all know what happens when we say how well he's doing. Oh dear, I've just said it. Although, just to put a slight downer on it, he's behind Pete.
Crikey.
That's not good.
Wow. Well done, Pete. Clearly got a good pace round here.
Oh, Chris Needham again. He's having a hell of a night.
Crikey. He's suffering for a #1 car. I feel for you, Chris.
Well, if you're going to have a bad one, get it out of the way here.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's doing enough off him for his entire season, isn't he?
Yes.
This is still tight at the front here.
Yeah, the closer these three get, the better for Jamie in 4th.
Yeah. Well, there's no lifting from here. This is flat out right to the top of the hill. You didn't lift at all.
Have you been round this track in the GT4 or TCR, Alan?
I've been around. I went and bought the Aston Martin so I could have a go in it around here.
Oh.
It was very exciting. It was.
Not every
Sounds
day.
fantastic.
Not every day you can say I bought myself an Aston Martin today.
No, and I went and bought one of those Hyundais as well, and the Formula One car. I was feeling really splurgy.
Is it pension day?
I'm saving up for my direct drive wheel, you know, I'm being very cautious. Oh, this is closed, lovely. It's the same thing, up the hill, Clyde, you know.
Yeah.
You didn't lift. You didn't lift.
So this is Russell Cowell's bumper cam with Gary Craig in front.
Oh,
Andy Littler's had a little...
Andy.
He's had a little bit of trouble. A little bit of trouble, I meant to say.
Andy's my teammate, dear friend.
Oh, he's just lost that under brakes, yeah.
That's what, you know, you need to be on the brakes before the corner.
Yeah, a lot of damage on that car.
I hope he's okay because we're doing the Sebring 12-hour on Saturday.
Evening to David Ayres on the chat. Why are you not out there? What is this week's lame excuse? Charles is saying that Alan won the lottery.
I won the lottery.
Yeah.
What lottery?
Well, that must be how you've afforded all these new cars.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yes. Oh, yes. Well, you know me, Charles. I fear nothing when it comes to spending money on simulated race cars.
Well, as I always say to my wife, it's better than spending it in the pub.
Oh, I like to do that as well.
Oh. No, it's not. It's Kylie.
Oh, well, there you go.
That's it. Yeah, just knock that rear wing off, just to make sure. It's Mr. Harper Porsche. So it's good to see, you know, our traditions are keeping us going. Oh, he's managed to get his rear wing back on my screen somehow. Oh no, that's because it's a replay. Sorry. Actually did the right thing there by holding the brakes and not moving.
Where's Carl?
That was a bus for positioning, so I do think Russell had to slow down because speed went by very easily.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Yeah. So David's not racing because of his iRacing issues. Send me a message tomorrow, mate, and whilst I'm at work, and I'll have a look at our weekend rota and let you know a weekend that I am not in work, and I will come and get that sorted for you.
Yeah, it's been having a lot of problems, hasn't it? Very frustrating.
Yeah.
Still, David, you're in the chat room. Good evening, my friend. You won't be able to see our Carl dropping back like that. So, Pete's up to 4th. Amazing.
Yeah. That's not going to last, surely.
I think he's made a move this season, don't you?
To be honest, you know, I've known Pete for many years. I've raced with Pete for many years, as adversaries, as teammates, as everything you can think of. And when he puts his mind to it, he's not a bad racer at all. I don't know whether Pete would agree with me, but he sometimes suffers through, shall we say, concentration or lack of. And he's one of those drivers that, you know, some people can zone out, drift off somewhere else thinking about what they're having for dinner, and nothing happens. The second that Pete drifts off somewhere, his car drifts off the track, and it usually ends up in a mess.
Well, he's concentrating tonight, and we're glad to see it. Oh, no, you see, Cole's making a bit of recovery, isn't he? So,
yeah, to be honest, he does seem to have some pace, doesn't he? Although he's obviously the lead car in this battle now, but he's dropped off a bit from Pete and the battle ahead. So let's see if he can drop these two and get back up towards
Looks
Pete.
like he's capping them, doesn't it? Oh, he was.
As we say that, yeah. Although he was...
is that commentator's curse, Clyde?
Well,
is that commentator's curse?
I think it could have been, yes.
Oh, goodness me.
I think you are now 1 for 1.
Oh, crikey.
So all the drivers out there will now be praying, Alan, please don't say how well I'm doing.
Yes. Oh, and I want to say that about all of them.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh,
no. You have properly done him in.
Oh, goodness.
And there's Sam Blees after his pit stop.
Mr. Kellyman was giving me hard racing last night. He was. It was a delight.
I believe we're past the 20-minute mark already.
Has Carl slipped back again?
Yeah.
Oh no, he's got to do all that work again to make his way through the field.
Yeah, so obviously Sam Blees got past him, Matt Elmore got past him.
Oh, gross.
Ollie Ricks has got past him.
Ugh. Oh well, we don't mind Ollie getting past. It was very kind of him to pardon me in the... You see, Ollie's... He knows this track well after his 3-hour endurance race that he did with me.
You would think so, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Yeah. It's done him some good, I think. He was a very good partner for me. He did the fast part and I did the slow part.
Well, to be fair, I think there were certain tracks last season where we saw that Ollie did have pace. And I think he's one of those drivers that just needs to stick with it, spend more time in the car, and he'll start showing that pace week in, week out.
Yeah, that'd be great. It's very nice, young man. You know, Jamie's still hanging on, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
still there.
Still in the same shop.
Something happened, he would. If something happened, he would soon make that back.
And he's got a massive gap back to Arnaud, so he can afford to, I don't know, do a bit of fuel saving or drive within himself. Knowing that if one of these three in front make a mistake, or on the last lap when they're battling each other for that win, one slip up and there's a podium there for him.
Sure. And he can concentrate on just keeping his laps tidy, and it's going to be quick because driving in company with other cars, you do get inadvertent little slows down. You don't quite know what the bloke in front's going to do. So he's in a good place if he can keep it going. To lap it up, it's just these guys look pretty focused, don't they?
They certainly do. I think second place TCR Stephen Walker is starting to... Well, he didn't on the last lap, but I think he's took... Oh, actually, he did. He done a 9:06 in that last lap. A 9:06.5 Gt4, whereas leader Spencer McCarthy did a 9:08 flat.
It's a cracker.
Took a second and a half out of him in that lap.
Well, he's got pace. Mind you, he always has that pace, hasn't he? So it doesn't surprise me.
I also think he's being inadvertently helped by Gary Craig, because Gary is just sitting behind him and going, right, you know, you go with your pace, I'll stick in your toe and I'll follow you, and rather than going side by side with each other and losing time, we'll see if we can draw Spencer back into us.
Gary's a smart racer. He is. And they're sitting in podium places. Lots of points. So there's a lot on the table, isn't there?
Yeah, Gary's only fault is he likes to dress in lycra.
I'm happy for Mr. Walker. He's, I think he did very well last year after the walkover he had the season before. He stuck in really well last year when he had somebody to race against, and he's it's there, isn't he? He's having somebody to race against. I think it's nice for him.
What I like about Stephen Walker the best is, to be honest, he doesn't really care where he finishes. He's a bit like Jamie. They just want to have fun racing. And, you know, like you say, he went from a season of dominance, you know, winning 11 out of the 12 rounds. And you could say last season he struggled to some extent, if you look at the win column anyway. But he probably had more fun last season than he did when he was winning all the races.
I would think he would probably absolutely agree with that.
Here we go. So
yeah, it's crikey, the time's flying.
Simon Trendle has managed to stay out. This could be interesting.
Really? And he's been leading all the way as well, so he's not been fuel saving, has he?
Has Simon saved enough?
Well, we're looking on a 7 lap, as I said, so he needs to do 4, at least for one of these things. And he's done it right now. Well, he's trying to, at least.
Trying to, yeah.
He's got a light car, of course, now. So if you can, you know, eke out another lap while his car's light, it might be quick. How's Carl doing? Oh, look, these two are still locked together here. Look at this. It's great. I bet they're enjoying that.
Oh, hello.
Very long stop for Stefan.
Hello. What happened with Stefan? Did he take tyres and nobody else did? Or was there an error in the pit stop? I wonder if Mr. Lower can... Yeah, he's up in the air, isn't he? He's taking tyres, and I don't think the others did. That could be interesting.
Well, or at least he took 4 tyres and the other only took 2, but I'm not sure which way around it is.
But he's definitely got a rubber advantage, so let's see if he can use it.
4 laps.
Yes. That could weigh quite heavily around here.
Yeah, Carl Hardy, Matt Elmore.
So Carl's got in front of Matt now.
He certainly has.
That's no guarantee he'll be staying there. He got in front of him before.
Yeah, well, we're only just coming up on halfway, so... Andrew McKinley says there's a fair bit of Honda TCRs. From talking to some of the TCR drivers, it seems to be the most neutral car out of the 4. I wouldn't go as far as saying it's the safe pick out of the bunch, but there's certainly a reason why you know, there's a lot of Hondas. These drivers do a hell of a lot of pre-season testing to work out what car they're going to use in the season. So yeah.
Well, there's been quite a lot of changes in the TCRs, hasn't they? Since from last season, there's been changes with the tyre model and everything. So
yeah, and obviously the new Veloster was looking promising, but I think that the talk is there's something a little bit broke with the tyres on it, or something on it. So it's not having a lot of love at the moment. But we know what iRacing are like. They do tend to have a fiddle, shall we say, and bring some love back to cars. So, same in the GT4s. There's no BMW and there's no McLaren. Now, the McLaren got a lot of love last season, but nothing for the BMW really for a couple of seasons now. So
and I remember Mr. Hopley in the BMW absolutely dominating.
Oh, exactly. Yes, yeah. I expect they'll do something about that.
But yeah, it's interesting because I like the Hyundai, but I know the Hyundai suits this circuit, and but it hasn't got the Civic generally hasn't liked the curbs, so the curbs aren't so bad around here. It's certainly, they're all quick. I don't think there's anything in performance. They're very much cars that suit a particular driving style, I think.
Yeah, I think probably. I don't know if it's the same this season, but last season, for instance, the Honda was the best car on the brakes. I think the Elantra was the best one on acceleration. As Alan quite rightly says, sometimes some of the cars like the curbs, some of them don't. So I think over the course of a season, it equals itself out anyway. And as much as these guys do testing at the start of the season, I think it doesn't matter what car the fast drivers are in, that they'll rag it round the circuit anyway.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you're fast, you're fast. It doesn't matter what you're driving.
Exactly. So Simon Trendle is about 2/3, I think, of the way round the lap. As Sam pointed out, a lot of cars. A lot of cars. Simon Trendle, Spencer McCarthy, Stephen Walker, Gary Craig, Russell Cowell, Pete Bingham, all going for a 4-lap stint from the start.
Come on, Mr. Hardy. You're doing in 10th. Oh, no. Oh, hey, what a save that was. Fantastic. Oh, well done.
I was just about to say it's not over yet, but he did manage to save that.
Cracker. Fantastic save, but I don't want to see him losing places.
Well, Jamie Wilson's still ahead of Stefan Goebel. Stefan, we think, has got at least a 2-tyre advantage, possibly a 4-tyre advantage. Charles on the chat is saying, is Carl dropping off? To be honest, mate, I think he's probably just hungry.
He's having a bit of trouble staying on the track, Charles. He's having a couple of offs that have cost him places. It's a shame. He's got good pace. This place, you've only got to get one wheel slightly off, and that's it. You're in trouble.
Yeah, Stephen Walker and Gary Craig still pulling time back to Spencer McCarthy.
That's good news. Simon's still got his pit stop to come now. He's still got his fast car.
Yeah, it's going to be, I say, Simon Trendle is almost at the end of his 4-lap stint. Now we know Wobbly is going to have to do a 4-lap stint this time out, so he's going to need to save a bit of fuel. Whereas Simon doing a 3-lap stint on his second stint is going to be going flat out. So that could be quite a battle. And if Stefan wants to get back into this, he needs to clear Jamie Wilson as soon as possible. But Simon gets that 4-lap stint done. So yes. Sam Belize now looking at the back of Pete Bingham. Don't forget, envelopes stashed with cash if Pete happens to end up in the barrier accidentally.
Oh, Steph's got in front. On
Yeah,
straight.
yeah.
Well, the draft. It's a great place to overtake. It's a guaranteed overtake, really, if you're behind.
How far will Wobbly be in front of Simon? Although I don't think it's going to phase Simon. Oh, that's a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. In fact,
it's going to be slow around here, so
that is exact opposite to I thought it was going to be.
But remember, Simon probably had to save fuel. Now we can go full on when Wobbly have to save fuel for the last few bits.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. So that could be very close, couldn't it?
Only raid drivers can do it properly.
What's happened to Rage Quit kneecaps? All on his lonesome.
Oh, that's his. Did he change his tyres?
I don't know, but and I'm going to say an uncharacteristic mistake there from Mr. Kneecaps. And just as suspected, he's rage quit. That's that podium position that Jamie Wilson knew he was going to get if something happened to one of the top three. David Ayres making excuses for Carl Hardy on the chat, saying, to be fair, he's been in work since 5 a.m. Pussy. 5 a.m? That's the late shift.
Very, very, very long stunt for Spencer.
He was up in, was it 6th position earlier, and that was really good.
Spencer almost a minute now into the pit.
That isn't it? That's a massive.
That's a penalty. Sure, it's a penalty.
Can we have a look at his entry, see if we can spot anything there?
Let's go.
As if by magic. I think he was still slowing down after the line, wasn't he?
It's very hard to tell.
Close one.
Yeah.
That's a close one, goodness.
That could have been a too fast entering penalty. You can still, on that view there, you can still see his brake lights.
Yeah.
Coming on once he's past the line. Yeah.
But the lucky one got out of pits in first place.
He did, didn't he? Yeah. Yes. Well, to be honest, that's not surprising. Yeah, as we said, you know, he was catching Spencer.
Kind of a gap have we got between Stefan and Simon then?
It's a good 8 seconds, I think, something like that.
All right. But Simon's got... Well, they've all got good tyres, haven't they, now? So
yeah, and Simon doesn't have to do any saving.
No.
He's
no.
in theory just got a 3-lap stint to do. Here's something scary. So Sam Blees in 4th, Pete Bingham in 5th. Whoa, Sam! Oh, okay.
Oh.
I'm not going to say what I was about to say, so no, it doesn't really change it. I think Sam was going to have to pit again anyway, which would have promoted Pete Bingham up to 4th, which has promoted Pete Bingham up to 4th.
And now Sam just went to the pits, so he was on that position. But he went to the pits again, I guess.
Yeah, that's basically what I was saying. I think Pete would have got that position with Sam pitting again, but
no. He just pitted at the same time as Pete and everybody else.
Ah, so that was his second stop. Yeah,
it was his second stop, and now he's for the third time into the pits.
I'm with you. So, this could be weird. A mistake from Lucky Walker, a mistake from Gary Craig, or a mistake from Russell Cowell, and Bingham was on the podium.
Oh, Princess P.
We'll hear about that for the next 7 years.
Well, at least.
At least, yeah.
Oh, this just makes me want to drive. This is agony, watching these guys go around it. It's the same every week. Oh, it's like the old days, Mr. Walker.
It certainly is, isn't he? What's he got over Gary?
Not much.
5 seconds?
Yeah, just less.
Yeah.
Oh, Rick. His car looks just like Eddie Van Halen's guitar. You know what I mean? The first one.
Bit of a weird.
It's a spitting image of it. It's called the Franken. What was it called? The Frankencaster. Because it was a mixed up guitar with a Fender neck. And,
right. Unlike you, I'm not very musical.
Oh, well, you know, poor Eddie Van Halen died last year.
I nearly got the hang of the recorder at school, but I got demoted to the triangle because I kept hitting people over the head with the recorder. So
get a harmonica, Clyde.
But I was a dab hand on the triangle, mate. Believe me.
Well, they're not easy to play. You still have to plunk it in the right place. Timing's everything. Oh,
that was Jamie Wilson.
Jamie.
Getting a little bit wide.
Come on, Jamie, careful here. You're in good play. Oh, he's alcohol. Come on, lad.
Well, he's currently running 9th. Was running 9th.
We're going to spend a few minutes into replay mode because they're all crashing at the moment.
I wonder how many of these cars are carrying damage around as well now. That's going to cost him performance.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to stay wide and ended up staying too wide. Matt Flannery. He's getting a bit over.
Oh, he needs to get on the brakes hard around there.
He'll probably get away with that. That'll just scrape the paint off the left-hand side of the car.
It's just one of those essential corners, Clyde, where you've got to get it right because it's the feeder into the going on the hill.
Exactly. So Spencer McCarthy wants 4th place from Pete Bingham.
And it's a Van Allen livery, confirmed by Rick on the chat.
Oh, is it a Van Halen livery? Oh, there you go. Well done to him. And well done to me for recognising it.
And I have no idea what this means, but it's got 5150 on the back.
5150 was the name of his studio.
Okay.
And also the name of his amp model.
Okie dokie. Lost me at Van Halen, to be honest, so...
He was a great guitarist. He was a game changer. It was a happy moment for me when I learned to play Eruption. It was terribly exciting. I've never forgotten it. Never do it as well as he did, though, that's for sure. It was a whammy bar.
You're not too bad, mate. I've seen you plinking and plonking a few times on Facebook, so...
Oh, we've all got our heroes there, Tom. He changed music. He was a game changer, a bit like Mr. Hendrix, the great revered Jimmy. And he was like that. He changed everything.
Right, come on, Spencer, get this done and just give him a little nudge.
Well, the draft down here, it's a guaranteed overtake. Now, people will be planning that. You're talking about tactics. People will be not wanting to be in front going on to the last lap, going down here. So,
well, yeah, I think the trouble is at the moment, barring mistakes, we have got a couple of runaway leaders in each class, haven't we? Simon is a long way ahead in GT4, and Stephen too, yeah.
Well, we can hope that the gap closes. How long we've got to go? Not so long a lap. 1.5 laps.
12.5 minutes, yeah.
1.5 laps. There's still plenty of time.
Which means the GT4s are on the penultimate lap.
He's hanging on to his 5th place. Lovely.
Yeah, so let's have a look. What's Pete? Oh, holy shit. That was a 9-minute 18 lap for him that time.
There you go. Matt Elmore's just done a 9:20. It's kind of my pace. On a good day, he said. I actually had a really good lap round here.
Well, I'm pretty sure Pete hasn't been doing 9:18s all night. Because at that pace, Shane Powell behind him took 11 seconds out of him on that lap.
Yeah, you're also looking at best lap, not last lap.
Am I? Sorry. Yes, you're right.
Well, yeah, the last one was out of the pit, so that's a 9:53 for Pete. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and a 9:45 from Shane.
Did he just come out of the pits? Oh, he's done a lap since he came out of the pits. Right. It's such a sinuous, twisty place, this. Dramatic and wonderful piece of tarmac. But of course, do get spread out. I understand what you mean by its racing potential. As a short track, it's no good at all, of course. But
yeah,
where it comes into its own is in endurance racing.
This reminds me of. So I won't be here next week because I'm off to Wales with work, and it's in this place in Wales is called Llandrillo Wells.
Oh yes, I've been there.
And well, as you will know, then Alan, it is in the middle of nowhere, and you have to drive down roads like this to get there.
Now, remember to take your binoculars because you'll get a dramatic dark sky and you'll be able to see some beautiful starscapes from Wales.
No. Once it's dark, mate, I will see the inside of the bar.
Well, it's a good opportunity, you know, because it's really great dark sky in Wales, and you'll see something beautiful. I suppose you can always look at them when you come out the bar.
The only thing beautiful I will be seeing is my face in the mirror in the morning. So, under 10 minutes, as Alan said, a lap and a bit. Are there any more mistakes in these drivers, or are these positions set?
Oh! Whew. It doesn't take much, you see. That could have been a lot worse, couldn't it? Just that slight tyre on there, and that's all you need.
It's right. It's an unforgiving track, isn't it?
Well, it says, here I am, and stay within it. But if you don't, you're in trouble because the fences are so very close.
Yeah, if anybody's...
you notice that these walls are very, very close to the track. There's not what you call a lot of runoff, is there, anyway?
No. And if anybody's noticing all the writing on the track, I can confirm it is Carl Hardy's takeaway order.
Ollie,
Ollie, no, the track's behind you. There's something wrong with that left front wheel.
No, that didn't look good, did it?
It didn't.
Oh, he's had to quit back to the pits.
The right one was turning, but the left one wasn't. Oh, it's that curve again.
On the grass.
Into the grass, touch the brakes, around it goes. And, you can see...
Yeah. If this was Silverstone, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
But it's not. Yes, these walls are in very, very, very close.
Yeah, to me it looked like he got a little bit of snap oversteer, corrected, then didn't want to put any more steering in, touched the brakes when he was on the grass, and that was good night, nurse.
Yeah, one bam, thank you, ma'am.
So Simon Trendle not far now from starting his final lap.
Well, he's comfortable. His lead's stretching out slightly, and he's got the advantage with his fuel situation. So he should be plain sailing.
10.5 seconds.
Well, we couldn't get much more comfortable than that, could you?
No. So here he goes away on his final lap. 6 minutes 15 left in the race. I'll tell you something, he's not slowing up. He's just set the fastest lap of the race on his last lap.
Congratulations, Simon. Well, when you're by yourself and you're up there, it's a mistake to start slowing down and try and, when you've got your rhythm so nicely established as this, it's quite possible to turn in very quick laps, and it feels easy. It does. And if you start to try and slow down and actually ease off, your timing goes out the window, and it can lead to problems.
Yeah, to be honest, mate, I think that is the same for any track, isn't it? There's a certain small percentage that you can ease off, and then if you try to ease off too much, like you say, your braking points, your turn-in points, that they all go out the window, and you see so many drivers have mistakes when they're trying to back off too much.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an easy thing to do. But of course, most people, this is a very experienced field. These are all, there's no poor drivers in this field at all. These are all very good drivers. So, and they're experienced.
Apart from Pete.
Pete's in 5th and doing very well.
I know, something seriously wrong there.
Go Pete, that's what I say. Come on. He's represented his team very well. Where's Gary? Gary's doing great.
There we go.
Now, what's this?
What did I say about 2 stops at the start of the race for Mr. Goble?
You did. Where did you get that crystal ball from, Clyde?
He just doesn't fuel save. It doesn't the right thing, or would I be too harsh in saying can't fuel save?
If it's really goes against the grain of his driving, he shouldn't.
Yeah. I can't. I'm absolutely terrible at it. To the point that I don't even try now.
I can barely drive the way I do, never mind.
So, what's happening to Chris Needham here? Because I see he's disconnected from the server. There wasn't quite enough space to get through there.
Oh. Mr. Needham left some serious pile of paint on the Onco tonight, Oh dear, look at this, it's flying and... Oh! Got that cold, didn't even see him. Get around that corner.
No, I think you're right. Yeah. He's, I think Chris has, we can safely say, has had a night to forget.
So Walker looking cool in purple. And very nice with his golden banner.
Yeah, just having a look at... for some reason I thought he had a bad week last week, but he didn't. He had a 3rd place, so that's big points for him tonight. Especially with Sam Blees down in 11th and still in the pits.
This might just had his 2nd pit stop. Smith had to come in as well.
Yeah. And don't forget, folks, that the drivers do get 1 drop round, so it's not the end of the world at the moment.
I've been loving this fact that it's been here because I've been doing the Advanced Masters. I've done 3 Advanced Master races around here this week.
I think you're just a glutton for punishment, if I'm honest.
I never do them normally. It's only because it's here. I was hoping to get some Sage rating, but it hasn't worked out quite yet. I lost 0.04. Twice running. Consistent.
Yeah, it's a funny calculation, isn't it? It's done on
I was getting loads. I've got loads of safety rating, loads of iRating. My iRating has been going up, but my safety. And I've been finishing the races as well in, top 10 positions. So, but there you go.
So
I love this.
Trendle, little over half of a lap to go.
Going up the hill here. It's a tricky little section through here. A lot of gradient. Quick changes. So these guys
Yeah,
just keep carrying it on.
So who are we looking at? That's Ollie Ricks, isn't it? With Sam Blease behind him. That is some more points there, but Sam's car does.
Yes.
I never. Yeah, you can never. I don't know what it is, but their paint makes the car look crumpled from the front.
Yes, yeah, see what you mean, yeah. I've got an orange and black car. My work guard livery is orange and black. I'm going to start blaming the colour for the crumpling look at the front.
I think this time it's properly broken though, Clyde.
Yeah, it doesn't look too good, does it?
Yeah, and nothing against Ollie, but he seems to drive away from Sam in the fast sections.
Yeah, which is only going to benefit Ollie at the end of the lap, isn't it?
It doesn't really matter. They have 1 lap difference. They're
so
not
they are
actually
so
battling.
It's not, yeah,
for
it's not for position. No, that's all right.
Well, it is, but Sam will have to do 1 more lap to get to him. And he's going back.
Sam's not got the pace, has he? No, he's got damage. Serious, I think.
But this is a way to get your lap back, though. No, it's not.
Don't want to see that. It's not good to see that.
Okay, so Simon Trendle must be on that start-finish straight.
There's Jamie. He's in good style still. Oh, be careful.
Oh, don't throw that podium away.
So easy to come off there like that.
Okay, here comes Simon Trendle to take away the win in GT4.
Well deserved, I think.
I've just heard a no from Carl Hardy. Right, that's okay. Oh no, I think it was Matt Elmore going off track. I think they were having a little bit of a battle.
Yeah, I think that was for quite a while, wasn't it?
Right, what did I miss? Oh, I didn't miss anything.
You know what's good, Clyde, for today is we can have the winners' interviews going while the rest is finishing the race.
Yeah. So Jamie Wilson comes home in second place for a 1-2 for Team Chimera. Stefan Two-Stop Goebel comes home in third.
Oh, pulled back up to seventh. And Matt's coming in. Oh, crikey, Matt. Oh. Well, there you go. Oh, Matt. Oh, crikey.
I don't know if you guys can still hear me or not.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I've got nothing on my screens again, so
Okay.
I'm going to have to make this up as I go along.
Honour's car looks in good nick. I think he's probably been avoiding the walls better than most. Oh no. Mr. Haddington in the wall. Not often you see that. Yes, it's been a testing evening for a lot of these drivers, hasn't it? One way or another.
It certainly has. I'm going to have to do a quick reset, guys, because I cannot see anything.
Great, matey. If you come on and do it.
In a minute.
Here comes Gary Craig. Love those wheels. So, second, Gary. Well done, Gary. Second place. That was brilliant. Mr. Cowell. Well placed in third. Oh. Mr. McCarthy zoomed over in fourth. And a big round of applause. Mr. Princess is coming in fifth. Oh, that's fantastic. Well done to Pete. Well done to Shane. Keeping him honest at the end there.
Yeah, that was a photo finish after that race.
Jason Haddington bringing the car home. That's really great because it doesn't look too bad, that car, does it? Some of these cars are definitely looking a bit second-hand tonight. And, I'm glad I'm not footing the bill for the repairs.
Okay, I'm back.
Here comes Rob. Oh, look at those wheels on that car. Fantastic. Where's my sunglasses? Heavens. That looks purposeful, that car does, doesn't it? Yay! Okay, he's just got to get down the hill safely and around the last little complex and we're in business. Come on, my captain. Whoa, man. Crikey. Oh. What a race he's had. Goodness me. And here comes the fantastic Van Halen paintwork of the Franken Monster guitar. Yay! Wow, see it. There we go. That's made my day.
Okay,
well to Rick.
Tell you what, guys, while they are finishing off, shall we get these interviews underway? And I will bring in our Gt4 winner, Simon Trendle. Welcome to the booth.
Hello.
Hello. So, the result card is going to show that was a fairly easy and comprehensive win for yourself. We know what Wobbly's like. He has a little crash and always has a bit of a rage quit. But we were saying in the booth, we think by you doing that 4-lap stint, first off, barring any mistakes, you pretty much had that race in the bag because everybody else was going to have to save fuel in the second half of the race. Is that a fair thing to say?
Pretty much, I think. So. I was shocked when Wobbly and Stefan both pulled in on the end of lap 3 because they had my draft. I genuinely don't know how they didn't manage it. Once they pulled in, it was a case of, well, okay, I've got to not bin it, I guess. So there was some question of whether I should chase the fastest lap. I don't know if I got it or not. But
I'm sure you did. Or you were certainly on it the last time I looked before my PC decided that it didn't want me to see anything anymore.
This is true.
and because I think I remember mentioning at the time that you wasn't holding back because you just set the fastest lap of the race, so you must have been fairly comfortable.
Yeah, this car's great round here. I'm not a fan of this track in some ways. I don't mind hot lapping it. It's a cool track and all that, but racing it, I've never done the Nurburgring 24 or anything like that around here. So, but yeah, I got in this car, drove 2 laps, and it was just like, yeah, this works. This is great. I love it. This car lets you take the curbs that the McLaren, at least the last time I drove around here, doesn't let you, and it's amazing. If you've got the car, try it. I don't know, because it's amazing.
Glad you enjoyed it. It's not my cup of tea, but I know some people love it and some people hate it. That'll be Alan's a lover rather than a hater. But a fantastic win and some big points to follow up your, I believe he was second last week. So after a season off from the championship, you're pretty much picking up from where you left off. Yeah,
it's going well. I like this car, so that works in my favour, I guess. And the schedule's good because there's a couple of naff weeks coming up, in my opinion. But once you hit, I think it's Long Beach and onwards, it's just gold everywhere. So should be a fun season, especially if Wobbly sticks around.
And finally for you, a great result for the team as well, with Jamie coming home in I'm going to say an unexpected second, but that's not really fair, because you've got to be there to pick up the pieces when it does go wrong for other people.
Yeah, he was trying to fuel save in the first stint and just didn't manage it for whatever reason, so he had to do it in the third one. But yeah, 1-2, so that's works out. I can't remember if that's our first one or not. I don't think it is.
Don't know. Can't remember Jamie being that high up, to be honest. But
yeah, that's. I know I've been in first. I just don't know if Jamie's been in second at the same time.
Yeah, I think it's usually a first and eighth. But anyway, we'll rib Jamie about that. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yep, you guys for broadcasting, Alan for stepping in to commentate, because really good last week. I'm sure brilliant this week as well. And all the drivers are turning up.
Excellent. Well, like I said before, fantastic drive, cracking win, and we'll see you next time out.
Cheers, guys.
Okay, so let's bring in our TCR winner. Stephen got his luck back. Walker, welcome to the booth.
Yay. Thank you very much. The luck has definitely returned today.
Yes, so, problems for Sam. You certainly had the pace on Spencer. Gary tried to stay with you but couldn't. So, all in all, probably a very deserved win.
I mean, I wouldn't go deserve, just because it was Sam had the pace. We've done a lot of practice together and some races. Sam, if he hadn't have made that mistake, he was the fastest. And then I think Spencer and I were pretty much the same. I believe he got a pit stop penalty, I think. That surprised me, but it was quite hectic the first lap, and then things kind of settled down, and it was like the strategy for TCR anyway was the first 4 laps fuel save and then put in enough to go flat out for the last 3. And that kind of just the way it worked out, it was pretty good strategy wise. For once I did okay.
Having that strategy and trying to stick to it always helps. But is this a track that you generally get on well with, or has tonight surprised even yourself?
It's a track that I like, and it's a track that I do get on with, but I've been quick-ish, but never like stupidly quick. But like I said, we did the official last night, and I've never felt so slow. To be honest, everyone was just in front of me was just driving away, and it zipped all my confidence out. In practice, I felt like I've been going okay. So I I don't know. In all honesty, Sam was definitely the quickest around here. Like, if it had been no incidents, I do think he would have won. So I'll take what I can get, and I'm happy with my pace. Yeah, I was going quicker and quicker the more laps I did, obviously, which kind of happens anyway. But it's a track that I like. It doesn't really lend to good racing. Obviously, if anyone's watching, it was nowhere like last week, was it?
Well, you know, that's my call, mate. Everybody disagrees with me, but to be fair, I did actually enjoy tonight's race. I still probably haven't changed my mind about the track, though.
Yeah, no, it was the good thing is, I guess it's a different kind of skill set, because with here it's a bit more strategy, a bit more planning your race rather than like all out pace, which is last week it was pretty much just go as fast as you can, particularly my terrible start to last week. So like, obviously I think when I got past Gary, I was like, okay, well I'd like to bridge the gap to Spencer. I know he's going to be fuel saving, so I need to fuel save but try and get as close to him as I can before we pit, so he's not, I want that toe basically. It's just unfortunate what happened with his penalty, because I think we would have been racing, and I think that would have kept Gary in it if me and him had been racing. Depends. Obviously you don't know what happens, but like I say, it's a different skill set. I still find it fun, but from like, obviously it's nothing like last week.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know, say you can only beat what's out there, and whatever problems they have, you make sure that you don't have the same problems, and then you come out on top. So congratulations. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yeah, just Russ. I think he had a good race. Matt for completing the race, because he wasn't gonna. I think Shane had a decent result. You guys obviously for setting everything up, and just the rest of the TCR guys for just been really good racing and just sharing setups and things like that. It's really good fun. It's good community. I really appreciate it.
Excellent. Well, like I said, congratulations on your win. Another notch on the bedpost, and we'll see you next time out.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Thank you.
It's a nice young man.
Did you get a slowdown going into the pits? Go too fast?
I just managed to boot myself. Did I get rid of you as well? That's great. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, so everybody heard everybody talking on the broadcast.
Excellent. Right, so next up, let's bring in Jamie, second place. Whoop Wilson, welcome to the booth.
Hello. Did you get lost there for a minute?
Yeah, I know what it is. It's when I'm trying to bin somebody from the booth and they bin themselves, I end up binning me, then I panic and bin everybody else, and yeah, it just goes pear-shaped. But we're back. So I was saying to Simon there, you know, we know how quick Stefan is on these German tracks, but we know he can't save fuel. We know if Wobbly makes a mistake, he's going to rage quit. So, you know, possibly second place for you was maybe a bit elevated, but you've got to be in the right position when these other people can't do things or make mistakes, and that's what you managed to do, and you get some bloody good results from it.
Well, that's the plan, yeah. Translation of what you just said. You're crap and you shouldn't have got second, but well done.
I had my commentary head on, mate, so, you know.
No, that's a fair assessment.
No,
to be honest.
I think on pace, you was probably the fourth quickest GT4,
Yeah.
but I was going to say you didn't make any mistakes. You did. We see a couple of little ones, but you didn't bin it totally. You managed to save fuel where others didn't, and therefore you got second instead of fourth.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised that I jumped Stefan in the pits. I don't know what that was about.
Did you take tyres?
No.
But Stefan definitely took tyres.
I didn't see his car go up.
Yeah.
Right, okay, well, that would explain that. What a strange decision. But yeah, it was, I mean, Simon in first, 30 seconds up the road or whatever, me second, Wobbly unhappy. That's a pretty good natural order of things, isn't it?
Yeah, and pretty standard, to be honest.
I'm impressed that Wobbly managed to crash on the bit of the track that he has no excuse not to know very well.
I will guarantee his excuse will be something like, it's a bit Donington-y or something like that.
He'll blame the cat and have to kill it again.
But yeah, fantastic result. You race with us in all of our series, week in, week out. I personally think you don't always get the results that your dedication deserves, but tonight it flipped itself on its head. So great result, especially for the team as well.
Yeah, that is really good. It's not something we've since I've had Simon racing with me in this. We haven't really sort of had a joint really good result. I don't think. I can't remember one anyway. That in itself isn't unusual. But yeah, it was. You're right. I was definitely the fourth fastest car. I was in that sort of no man's land that you saw in the qualifying results. I did a bit of practice for this. You kind of need to around here. But I didn't really practice any fuel saving. I was just sort of getting to grips with the track was sort of more important for me. So I kind of half-assedly fuel saved in the first stint, which just put me off the back of that little pack. And then I realised that this isn't enough. I'm going to have to do it in the second stint instead. And then went full bore, but by then it was too late to catch up. So yeah, it did. And then obviously after that, it did just fall into my lap. So yeah, I can't complain about that. But yeah, it's a fun combo to drive. I'm normally a bit ambivalent towards the Nurburgring, but I think Simon and I both got quite a lot out of just driving it around here. It's a really, really fun combination. And
a good result always helps your opinion of the track.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I'd say fantastic drive. You did everything right. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
To yourselves, as always, for putting it all on. Welcome, Alan, to the booth.
Thank you, Jamie.
Did a good job last time.
I say that I thought you did really well. You had to hang on in your fourth place and keep up, and you did. You really hung on very well, I thought. Well done, matey.
Just about. I was not fuel saving elegantly in that last couple of laps there.
I don't know those words.
I don't actually think Jamie does anything elegantly, so
that's true.
Too much.
And yeah, to Simon for he put the setup together and was tweaking it and stuff. So I didn't have to. So that was good. I assume the TCRs did a good job. We didn't see any. So. Can't compliment them on there. Can't compliment them because we didn't see them.
Well, that's a good sign. So yeah. Okay. Well, thanks as always for joining us in the booth. Congratulations on that fantastic second place and 1-2 for the team, Jamie Wilson.
Cheers, guys.
Right, I binned him before he got a chance to bin himself. Right, as we are easing Sir Alan into doing interviews, we are going to let Alan loose with second place TCR driver Gary Craig.
Oh, Gary! Oh, poor Gary. I mean, what have you done to deserve this? Now, my friend, I'm going to... You know how Clyde and Stacey do that really crisp sort of sentence where they sum everything up and into a pile and then, lay out this lovely... trackway for you just to sort of jump on and answer all the questions in a really smooth way, and it's dead slick and pro. So I'm not doing that because that's completely beyond me, but I enjoyed you driving tonight. It was great to see you up there and fighting hard and competing. It was
I was surprised I actually held on for so long before the pits, because I know the guys who were in front of me are quite a bit faster around this track, and I was made a surprisingly good start, getting 2 or 3 places off the start, and then managed to hang on. And then after the pits, after there being a couple of crashes, I just slowed the pace down so that I was safe. Basically, I knew I had no chance of catching Wook, so I just made sure that I went quick enough to keep Russ behind whilst being safe. So it was just a case of bringing that one home, because if at the start of the season you'd put the schedule in front of me and got me to pick where I expect I might get a podium, I'd put this track at the very bottom. So that's quite a surprise to get a second place tonight.
Well, it was a fantastic performance. I think everybody deserves a well done, actually, for getting to the end of the race. There was quite a lot of incidents, and even if you didn't have one yourself, you're next to somebody who's having one.
There was a couple of brown trouser moments there when Shane and Michael got together right in front of me, and then later on down, I think the second lap, when Sam got into the wall, Spencer was on the grass on the other side, Wook was going down the middle, Russell and Pete were coming behind me. I think 0x with Wook. Russ got hit in the back by Pete, and the two Geo cars were on either side on the grass. It was mayhem.
Well, it was certainly, sitting up here, let me tell you, for a while there, we didn't know which way to turn. It was, the replays were like, we didn't have time to get the replays in. There was so much happening. It was,
Yeah, it's not
something we see, really.
It's not a track. It's not a track that generally lends itself to good racing, but I think certainly before the pits, there was plenty of close enough action going on there. So I look forward to watching that back.
Yeah, well, yes, I do think the people who know the track better did a little bit better. And, I do think it's an advantage on this track to actually know it reasonably well. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, Wook and Sam and Spencer were all a good 5 seconds a lap faster than I could do, I think, on average, easily. So I was just being safe rather than trying to push beyond my limits.
Sure. People who are good on this track, I've seen people driving at night and in the fog. They don't lose any time. It's like they've got an invisible thing inside them, and they can just follow it no matter what. But
it's because they've got the track. They've got the track map on a sticker on the back of the car, so they see it every day.
I'll have to try that. Thank you very much. That's a good idea.
It's key.
I know it. Yeah, it's one of the tracks that I know really well. But I love the place. But, yes, it does make for the kind of tense racing and intensity that we get like we had last week. But there was a lot of incidents.
Yeah, it's a racing challenge more than a race, but it certainly can lend itself to interesting moments. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well done tonight, matey. It was great to watch you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Okay, Gary. Well, before we let you go, any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, big thanks to you guys for the broadcast and for the league as ever. Well done to Pete, my teammate there. Did a fantastic job driving quick. I think he did his fastest ever lap round here on the last lap there to keep Shane behind him. So big well done to him. And just everyone else for, again, another good race.
Excellent. Well, always a pleasure to talk to you, and we'll see you next time out.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Good night.
Okay, so next up we have our third place finisher in TCR, Russell Cowell. Welcome to the booth.
Afternoon, everyone.
You may or may not have listened to previous broadcasts. I've been banging on about yourself and Shane. Probably, this is going to sound not nasty, but it's not meant in any derogative way, but having more speed than you probably show in the race. Now, I know Sam and Spencer had their issues tonight, but ultimately, you was in the right place to capitalise on those mistakes, and it proves that you've got the ability to get on that podium, and I think you've got the ability to get on that podium even in this tough field on a regular basis.
Yeah, I think for me, it's the fact that I've stayed in the same car again, because last season obviously we went from the Audi to the Hyundai, and I didn't take to it as well. But this season, I seem, because I've stayed in the same car, I think I've got my comfort zone back like I did in the Audi, because we raced it season after season.
Okay, yeah, that's a fair, fair description of what's going on. But in yourself, when you look at those drivers that are out there, where would you place yourself in that top 10? What's your where would you finish to go, yeah, do you know what, that's where I thought I'd finish?
6th, 7th probably. I mean, as you said, Shane's pace has picked up massively. He just got unlucky again today. He was really quick around here all the way through practice. We obviously know Lucky Walker's too quick for me. Sam and Spencer obviously are massively quick. Gary's obviously one of the quick guys, and I think it'd be between, usually in a race, it's between me, Carl, and Matt Elmore. So probably fighting for between 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Well, if you ever want to beat Carl, just mention food, mate. Honestly, it works every time.
I tried that last time and it didn't work.
But yeah, you know, we watched a bit of you on the broadcast tonight. You know, you was fighty when you need to be fighty. You didn't seem to make too many mistakes that we noticed. Did you have any major code browns out there, or was it plain sailing?
The only person to find a slowdown on the biggest track. I have never seen any. On the second lap, I was catching up to Gary, and he blindsided me. Well, he didn't do it on purpose. Obviously, he was driving around the corner, but it blindsided me to where the curb was. So I went straight over the curb and just thought, oh, it'll only be one time. So there's nothing of it. Next thing, it's going, you've got a 2-second slowdown, and I was like, I can't get rid of it. To the point where I nearly stopped dead on the track. And Pete came flying past me at 100 mile an hour, and I realised at that point that I'd messed up big time.
Oh, yes, I remember that now, because I think Sam pointed out that you must have had a slowdown because Pete overtook you. So yeah.
So I had to literally, like, I was trying to manage the slowdown coming down, as you do normally on a normal track. You see it going down quite quickly if you just jab the brakes or put it in 6th gear. So I did both. I put it in 6th gear and I pressed my brakes and it wasn't going anywhere. And I was like, it's only because we've done one lap that doesn't register the time going down as quick.
Yeah.
So I was coming up to a corner, I'm like, I'm just going to have to brake because I've got 10 seconds left and I had like 0.5 left of the penalty to take. So I was just like, Pete's getting past me, there's nothing I can do here. I just have to hope for the best that I can get back past him on the straight.
Yeah, well, you know, I tell every driver, you know, with Pete, just nerf him out of the way. But we'll just close our eyes and pretend we didn't see anything. So you know that's all good. But yeah, we had a bit of a debate at the start of the race on you know, whether people like this track or not. There's one in the booth here that hates it and two that like it. What's your feeling about it?
I like this track, surprisingly. I'm not quick around it, but it's one of them tracks where I can be quite consistent round. So where I'm like 3 or 4 seconds off the fast drivers, that doesn't bother me as long as I can keep doing the same time over and over again. And that's what I end up doing around here. And I did it tonight. Like, just kept the consistency, apart from when I got the slowdown, obviously.
Yeah, well, you know, you heard it here first, folks. Another weirdo in the interview room. On that note, Russell, is there any shout-outs you want to give after your podium finish?
Yeah, you guys for the show, obviously. It's been a while since I've been here to say thank you, so thank you to you guys. Everyone that drove tonight, it was good. Obviously, there was a few issues on track, but they'll sort themselves out eventually. So everyone that was competing, and my teammates, obviously we've been doing a lot of practice this season, so that's probably helped me as well.
Excellent. Well, always a pleasure to talk to you, mate. Congratulations on your podium, and hopefully we'll see you next time out.
Yeah, hopefully. See you later.
See you later. Okay, we've got 2 to go, so let's bring in where did Matt finish? He finished 9th in TCR. Matt Flannery, welcome to the booth.
Hello, how's it going?
Not too bad. So, new to the series this season, possibly, most definitely dragged in by Sam and Spencer, by the short and curlies. First of all, before we talk about your race, how are you finding the series and the community?
Yeah, it's been good. Seems to be a good bunch of people driving, so yeah, enjoying it so far. Only 2 races in, obviously, but yeah.
Good, that's always good to hear. And are you new to this car, like still learning? Have you been driving it a while?
So I've only been on iRacing for about 18 months or so, and I've done a couple of seasons with the TCR, but last year sort of didn't managed to get a lot of driving in at all. So kind of trying to get back to it this year, really, and get a bit more up to speed.
Okay, well, we're again, I always say this to drivers. I mean this in the nicest possible way. We are seeing flashes of speed. So as with all the cars on the service, it's a case of sticking with them. And the speed will come, and you've certainly got a couple of rapid teammates you can learn from.
Yeah. Spencer and Sam are a big help with pointers and setups, and I really enjoy the TCR. It's a great car to drive. So yeah.
Okay, and your race tonight. I personally think it's not a particularly good track for racing in inverted commas. But how did you find it out there? We didn't see too many mistakes from you. I've seen you've managed to collect yourself 10 incident points, but I'm guessing they were just off tracks.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. It's not a track I particularly relish racing at. It's not a track I'm particularly well practiced on either. So it was really just about trying to survive tonight, I think, for the most part. Race definitely not vintage. But few off tracks, and unfortunately bent my steering lightly on I think my first or second lap, and used my fast repair at the pit stop, and then proceeded to bend the steering worse after that. So was down on top speed and driving at a bit of a cockeyed angle for the rest of the race. So it was, like I say, it was really just about getting around and trying to pick up some points at least.
Yeah, and not an easy track to get round with a straight car. So you done even better than we thought. Congratulations on tonight. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Just you guys for putting on the league. As I say, really enjoying it. So happy to be part of it, and Sam and Spencer for the help and stuff getting prepped for the races. Really.
Excellent. Well, like I say, congratulations, if nothing else, for finishing the race, and hopefully we'll see you next time out, and we'll watch you carefully throughout the season and see where you can get up that grid.
Cool. Yeah. Looking forward to it. I'll be around next week, so yeah, be good.
Excellent. Well, thanks for joining us in the booth, Matt. Don't be a stranger. Always pop in for an interview, whether you come first or last, and we'll see you next time out.
Will do. Cheers, guys. Catch you later.
Good night.
Bye.
Okay, so last but not least, it is Sam. Why did I bother turning up, please?
I think it's last and least, isn't it?
Hell of a night for you, mate.
Yeah, I mean, qualifying was all right.
and it just went downhill from there.
Yeah, it wasn't good, was it? I had pace.
You certainly did, yes. We was talking to Russell about that, and but it just, I think we all have them nights every now and again. And you've had yours tonight where it really didn't matter what you did tonight. You was going to find walls, you was going to spin, it was all going to go pear-shaped.
Yeah, absolutely. It was just one of those, like you say, I had the car and I had the opportunity, and I squandered it by slamming it repeatedly into a barrier.
Yeah, and I think probably what compounded it more to me was the fact that Spencer had problems as well. So, we're sort of used to seeing you two guys up the top of the TCR field. If one of you has a bad day, the other one tends to have a good day. But for both of you to have a bad day at the same track, I'm not. My memory's not the best, but I can't ever remember that happening before.
No, it's not a good day for geodesic, it's fair to say. We were really worried after my first little foray into the wall that Stephen would think I was taking the piss and letting Spencer get away. But I was literally just doing everything I could not to do another one because my wheel was well off centre and I couldn't turn right properly. So it was just a case that it looked like I was just going, well, I've crashed, so you build a big gap and then we'll do it. But it absolutely wasn't that. This was just as fast as I could go because the car was absolutely ruined at that stage. And then I did it again.
I think I can. Yeah, I do remember going, oh, he's done it again. But yeah, luckily the drivers, all drivers get a drop week, so providing you are present for all the other rounds, at least you can knock this one off the scorecard at the end of the season. Next time out, Zandvoort. What do you think to that?
I'm not sure I've ever driven the full track. I did a fair bit on the short version for the ITCR. So I know bits of it really well, but I'm not sure I know the rest of the track. But I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun. I feel like it's got a similar character to this week. It's quite bumpy and undulating and quite big shorter. It's shorter for sure, which is, I mean, I'll take shorter now because my God, that was painful. But yeah, I think I'm looking forward to it. I need to spend a bit of time. I need to learn it, but it should be good fun. It should make for decent racing, I think.
Okay, well, obviously a pleasure talking to you as usual, and appreciate you coming into the booth after having such a disastrous race. Are there any silver linings you can take from this race apart from it's not going to appear on the calendar again this year?
I mean, is that not silver enough a lining for you?
Well, yeah. It lived up to my low expectations, shall we say? Any shout outs you want to give? Car repair outfits, fence repairers, anything like that?
We're going to need some new sponsors, some sort of body workshop or something next week. Just normal stuff. Thanks very much to you guys for hosting and for broadcasting. I normally would say at this point, I really look forward to watching a broadcast. I'm not sure I can, in all honesty, say that this week. But
to be honest, mate, you got nothing to worry about because after you've killed your car, you're not really in it anyway.
Well, yeah, fair enough. I mean, I'll subject myself to that. I will watch that. But no, thanks for you guys to hosting, and well done to Stephen and Gary and Russell on his podium. And Russell will receive an invoice for the setup.
He was very polite about it, though. He was. Yes, he was. He was very, he acknowledged it.
Oh, that's good to hear. I'll have to watch the broadcast just for the interviews then, at least.
Yeah, watch the first 2 minutes when you're in the race, and then watch the interviews. And then you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Mate.
Oh, go on. Yeah. All right.
No, go on. What was you going to say?
I was just going to say that was the whole problem. Was that I kept convincing myself I was still in it. I was like, well, I only need to be 5 seconds quicker, so I just push absolutely flat out, and then I'll get a bit back, and that was why I had the second crash.
Well, I must admit I did get a little bit excited on the broadcast because after you'd done your long pit stop, you came out behind another TCR, and I thought, whoa, this is for position. And then Sam quite nonchalantly pointed out that you was a lap down and it wasn't for position, and then you disappeared back in the pits again.
That's why I came out, because it looked like it was for position for me. So I was like, he's gonna go, and he's gonna get my 10th place. So he came out, and I was like, well, I'm chasing him down. I'm gonna do that extra lap, and I'm gonna subject everyone to an extra 4 minutes of broadcast of me and Ollie having a pointless battle. And then I realised about halfway around the GP loop that he had done an extra lap, and it was a waste of my time.
Excellent. Well, that clears that up. Well, like I say, we do appreciate you coming in after a bad night's racing. Hopefully things go a little bit better for you next time out. Sam, please.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Well done, Sam.
Okay, so Alan, as we can see, our drivers in this series are not vain at all. We've had nearly every driver on the grid in for an interview tonight. as you love this track so much, sum up that race in as few words as you can.
Oh, crikey. Sum up the race. So pretty much what you said, really. Of course, spread out a lot of contact off the track. Probably ruining people's races, rather. A bit of a shame. But as usual, the fast guys were at the front and the slow guys were at the back. And the middle guys were in the middle. They were...
Yes. And Sam, from the cameras, obviously, bit of action at the start. And then, with all due respect to the drivers, it's not their fault. Got a little bit dull.
Yeah, it was okay. I think it provided more action than what I was expecting from this track. It's a very good track for racing, despite what you say, but it's obviously not the best for broadcasting. But I think today was good, so it provided.
Well, I think that was a fair summary from the pair of you. So I'm going to go back to Sir Alan Toon and put him on the spot and say, give me your GT4 driver of the meeting.
GT4. Can I have Jamie for that?
You most certainly can. He was in the race, so you can have him. Let me just tick a box there for Jamie. And your TCR driver of the meeting.
It's got to be Simon, hasn't it? Yeah.
Really?
Well...
That he was in a GT4?
Oh, GT4. TCR. That's
TCR.
That's Carl. It's Carl.
Oh, yeah. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
No,
totally
unbiased.
What a fighting
performance.
Yeah.
It was up the front, down the back, fighting all the way in a car that was damaged. It was a hero's performance.
So Stacey has just sent Alan some money. Sam, your GT4 driver of the evening.
It's a bit of a difficult one, but I will pick Simon as Alan picked Jamie. I think they both drove a great race. So yeah, Simon for me.
Yeah, I can't even knock you for that because it was a fantastic drive, tactics on point as well. So and your TCR driver of the evening.
I'm a bit of a pickle as well for this one because I do think Russell drove probably one of the best races he ever did, but so did Pete. So I'm gonna pick the Princess today.
Oh dear, a vote for Princess Pete. That's not good. Well, I am. I don't pick the winners, so I am gonna agree with Alan on GT4. My vote is going to go to Jamie Wilson. I think personally I summed it up quite well. He was the fourth quickest GT4 and finished second, so that's always a good feat. In TCR, very similar to Sam there. A fantastic result, and I would normally go for Pete for finishing fifth, but I can't get away from the fact that I've been saying it for ages, and Russell Cowell managed to get himself on the podium, so my vote is going to go to Russell. So that's the voting done and dusted. Coming up on BSTV, we've got a bit of a break this weekend. So we are back next Wednesday with this series again from Zandvoort. So hopefully that's going... no, there's no hopefully about it. It is going to be a lot more exciting than this week. So big thanks to the drivers for putting on the show as usual. Big thanks to everybody that join us in the chat. Always appreciated. Make sure you drop the video a like. Make sure you've subscribed to us on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on Facebook. That way you will never miss the action again. Time for me to say goodnight. Time for Sam to close the broadcast because it's getting on. So thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you stay safe, and we'll see you next week. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Looking forward to Sam for next week. Fantastic.
And good night, everybody. See you next week.